we are starting on the lesson 31 problem set, and we're really building off of the skills that we have begun using on the lesson 30 problem set. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to look at number 2 where it asks us to solve. I know that it says to use a number line to show your work, but I'm going to talk you through the number line process a little bit and kind of explain it to you with A, and that way you have a good understanding of it. If it's something that would be helpful to you, then I want you to feel comfortable to try it. But if the other methods that we've been using are helpful to you, then that's what I want you to stick with at this time. So in looking at A, we have 2 4/5 plus 1 2/5. Now, what they have done here is they've taken the whole numbers and they've added them together. So that's why we say equals 3. And then they took the fractions 4/5 and 2/5 and they added them together for 6/5. Now, what you see here, and again, we've been talking about this a lot, is this number bond, and it's pulling out the whole number. So how many fifths are in the whole number 1? 5. 5/5. You can also say like equals 1 whole. And then we have 1/5 left over. And then we can add that together for our total with the number 3 to be 4 1/5. Now, over here on the number line, we're going to start at the whole number 3 because that's the whole number that we had over here. And then I'm adding 5/5 to it because that's what I pulled out, 5/5 to get to my next whole number. So if you look, I have my number line marked, so I have fifths here, and I'm jumping 5/5 to the whole number 4. And then I had 1/5 left over, so I'm jumping 1 more fifth over plus 1/5 to my answer, which would be 4 1/5. Now we're going to take a look at 2B. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can see this. Here we go. 2B, it says 1 3/4 plus 3 3/4. So I'm looking at my whole number. I'm kind of modeling on this first one here. So my whole number would be, and I'm going to move mine over here just a little bit so it's easier for me to write with that space. So I'm going to just rewrite my problem. 1 3/4 plus 3 3/4. So I have 1 plus 3. I'm doing my whole numbers together, just like they were modeling up here. So that equals 4. And then I'm going to add my fractions together, 7/4. Now, just like on A as my model, I'm going to use my number bond here. How many fourths are in the whole number 1? Remember, when we're thinking of whole numbers, my numerator and my denominator are going to be the same. Like up here, 5/5, numerator and denominator are the same. They represent the whole number 1. So 4/4 are in the whole number 1. You could write even the whole number 1 or 4/4 is fine. And then how many fourths are left over? 3/4. You could even check your work by seeing that 4 plus 3 equals 7, which is your total up there for your improper fraction. And now I can take my whole number and I can add it together so that I can see my total answer of, oh, look, guys, I made a mistake. 3/4 plus 3/4 is 6/4, not 7/4. Look, even Miss Humphrey makes mistakes sometimes. So that means that 2/4 is left over. Okay, so now I can look and see what my whole number is added with my fraction. So now I can see that my total would be, if I have 4 and I'm adding my whole number in, it's 5 2/4. Sorry about that, guys. Even Miss Humphrey makes mistakes. So my total again is 5 2/4. Now I want you to try on your own. I want you to try 4C, and then we'll talk through the answer together. Now on 4C, I'm trying to bring this camera down some. On 4C, I'm adding my whole numbers together. I'm taking 3 plus 2, which gives me that 5. And then plus, I'm adding my fractions together, 6/8 plus 3/8, which is 9/8. I'm pulling out the whole number 1, and again, you can write, and I'll even put it over here to the side, you can say 8/8 or the whole number 1. Either one is fine with me. And that leaves me 1/8 left. I'm going to add 5 plus 1 for a whole number of 6, and then my remaining fraction of 1/8. So my answer is 6/1/8. Now I want to flip to the back and look at number 4. Number 4, it says solve, use whichever method you prefer. So again, I want you to use the one that you feel the most comfortable with. Even if you're following along with me and you do some on your own for some of the ones that I say I want you to try, just make sure that your answer, that we're getting the same answer and checking that those are correct, okay? So on 4A, I have 1 3/5 plus 3 4/5. I'm going to take my whole number again. I'm going to add those two together. 4 plus my fractions here, 3/5 plus 4/5 is 7/5. And then I need to take the 7/5 and I need to make a number bond. So I have my whole number 1, and again, you could write or 5/5 if that helps you. And then I have how many fifths left over? 2/5. Now I can take 4 plus this 1 and 2/5, which gives me my answer of 5/2. Now I would like for you to try 4B and 4C, and then we will go over those answers together. Here we go. Da, 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 da. I know you love the sound effects here, guys. Here we go. 4B and 4C. Again, the same steps of adding the whole number together. 2 plus 3 for 5 is my total for the whole number. Plus, I'm adding the 6/8 and 7/8, which is 13/8. I'm taking my improper fraction and turning it into a mixed number. I'm pulling out the whole number of 1, and then I have 5/8. So that way I can add the whole numbers together for 6, and then my remaining fraction can go in my answer of 5/8. The same thing again for C. I'm going to look at my whole numbers, 3 plus 2, which gives me 5. I'm going to add my fractions, 8/12 and 7/12, which gives me 15/12. Pulling out the whole number of 1, leaving me 3/12. Again, I'm going to just write underneath here. If you were wanting to, you could also say 12/12 if that helps you. And you can always check by saying 12 plus 3 equals 15. And so then you're adding your whole number, 5 plus 1, which is 6, with your fraction left over of 3/12. So your final answer is 6/312. That's it for lesson 31, guys. I hope that you are feeling a little bit more confident with the number bond and adding the fractions together. The number one rule to remember is add those whole numbers together first and then focus on adding those fractions. And then just practice with converting your improper fraction into a mixed number and pulling out that whole number with your number bond. It will be super helpful in breaking down each step for you in order to be successful on the problem set. I love you and I miss you and I'm proud of you. Good job.